Working across teams is tough, but Asana helps you handle it. Asana AI can spot roadblocks and assign work to keep everything on track. That's how work gets handled. Visit us at asana.com.
The 2026 Chevy Equinox is ready for your daily drives, weekend getaways, and everything in between. Plenty of cargo space, plus a big touchscreen that keeps all your tech right where you need it. It's more than an SUV. It's your Equinox. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Watch with Nordic live commentary stream here today. Sorry guys, got to apologize off rip. I'm running a little bit behind here on everything that I need to get done. I was having issues loading up my other laptop. Looks like I'm good now, so I think we're ready to go here and get started with this commentary. It's a Canada night. It's Wednesday night hockey between the Montreal Canadiens and the Winnipeg Jets to start. And then later on tonight, we are doing the Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames in the good old Battle of Alberta. It is a 2-game slate tonight. I am pretty damn excited to get into this one with you guys. Let's go through the preview. You take a look at the Montreal Canadiens. Over their last 10 games, they are coming off of a 3-game win streak. They are now on a 4-game point streak, looking to expand that on here after the overtime loss on Monday against the Minnesota Wild. As for Winnipeg, it's been a much worse season than the last. They find themselves right now towards the bottom of the NHL, towards the bottom of the standings. They have just won 4 of their last 10 games, coming off of an overtime loss in Dallas against the Stars. But they return home here tonight to take on the Montreal Canadiens. Starting goaltenders here tonight on both sides. We'll pull them up here on screen. These are their Watch with Nordic stats. You take a look at it. It's Connor Hellebuyck against Sam Montembeault, 2 goaltenders who have played a lot of games in terms of commentaries, but overall, their numbers definitely could be a lot better. Sorry, it's not aligned for some reason. Like the Hellebuyck text is above the Montembeault text. I apologize for that. But those are their stats in live commentary streams all time. Connor Hellebuyck with the 3rd most games played by any Watch with Nordic goaltender. Little fun fact there for you guys. And we'll get ready for puck drop here in just a moment. As always, thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the overall engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary, so I would greatly appreciate that. As we get ready for puck drop here from Canada Life Center in just a moment. That's right, we are live from Winnipeg here for this one tonight. It's been a long time since we've streamed the Winnipeg Jets. We're talking late November, so I'm glad that I'm finally getting them into a commentary here tonight. Makes me very happy to be doing this. Again, later on tonight, we have Oilers and Flames is our second game. That'll be the Battle of Alberta, the second installment of the Battle of Alberta and live commentary stream this season. So that'll be the game on the later slate here. One of the guys we've been highlighting here is Cole Caulfield. We had a Watch with Nordic question on him in our last Montreal stream about a week ago. He leads the NHL in goals since the calendar year has flipped over to 2026. He has 13 goals over the last month and change. Yeah, good win by the Royals. Hopefully they can go on the road and pick up some more wins for sure. They definitely need it. They can really lock themselves in for a playoff spot, or they can really almost knock themselves out of it. So, very big 7-game road trip coming up for Reading. All right, starting lineups here. And we got a moment of silence here in Canada Life Center. What is happening? Oh, that's right. It's the culture night. Forgot about that. So there's gonna be a little bit of a pregame here before we get started on the commentary. Where am I watching live? From Pennsylvania. screen is black. What is happening? Oh, they're doing an Olympic send-off to all their guys who are heading to the Olympics. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, every team has done it, but yep, recognizing the 4 Winnipeg Jets who are representing their country in the Olympics. Only, I think, 3 Canadians. There's a lot of red in that arena. I can already tell you there's a lot of red in Canada Life Center. It's kind of like Leafs and Flames. There was a lot of red in Leafs Flames. Honoring their players. They just shouted out Connor Hellebuck. Probably some boos as well. Yep, Kyle Connor. They're giving him a little bit of an ovation. I believe the other 2, Josh Morrissey. And I would say Ehlers, but Ehlers is no longer on Winnipeg. Nino Niederreiter, that's right. Yeah, he's representing also. Yeah, good on them for doing a little standing ovation. I mean, again, all the teams have done it, so it's not like it's a special thing for the Jets, but I don't know if I've seen the pregame. Then we'll get into the national anthem. Since this is a Canadian night, I will turn up the TV. I will take off my hat and we will play the Canadian anthem here on the stream. Since I didn't even really try to do this, but tonight we're kind of titling as Canada Night for the live commentaries as we're streaming all Canadian teams tonight. And now we're talking about the 3 players from the Mustangs hockey team that passed away. Really unfortunate. Again, it's terrible that we have stories like this that happen. Yeah, so they're honoring them here tonight. Give them a moment of silence. Yep. All right. Time for the national anthem here now from Canada Life Center. All right. I will turn up the TV. I will turn down my voice. And we will listen to the national anthem here. Oh, Canada. Alrighty, there you go. You guys know that I don't like to do that very often for either country, but in special occasions like tonight, where it is Canada night, here in the live commentary streams, we're streaming all Canadian teams tonight. I thought it was fitting. And let's get ready for the first of two here tonight on the YouTube channel between the Winnipeg Jets and the Montreal Canadiens. Starting goaltenders on both sides. Sam Montembeault in net for Montreal. 9-8-2 record this season. Has struggled for sure. Hoping to get better tonight. On the other side is Connor Hellebuyck, back-to-back Vezina Trophy winner. Won the Hart Trophy last year. 13-15-7. It's been a pretty underwhelming year for Hellebuyck and his Jets. Thank you all for tuning in as always. Subscribe down below if you're new. I would greatly appreciate it, of course. It is an all-Canadian matchup here tonight from Canada Life Center. It is the Canadiens and the Jets, and we are underway. Face-off is won here by Winnipeg. DeMello played back over then for Connor. Kyle Connor through center, shoots it, and a save there by Montembeault. Scheifele, tried to feed it up top. You ever try and talk and then a burp comes out of you while you're talking? That's what just happened to me. Here are the Habs now at the point. Matheson clears it down low to the corner. Now Kirby Dach will bank it around the Winnipeg net. Trying to get to that puck is Connor. Now down low is Josh Morrissey. Morrissey back to Connor. Stolen back now. Puck will come out to center. Montreal will dump it back into the Winnipeg zone. And now we'll get a line change. Josh Morrissey, one of the 4 Winnipeg Jets representing Canada at the Olympics, which begin next Wednesday, a week from now. We'll be live for 4 preliminary games, including the medal games as well, and some other ones in between. Here's Lowry now down low for Velarde. Velarde behind the net, trying to feed it to center. Battling for it then with Dobson. Velarde on the right side. Still has the puck. Broken away then by the Habs. Taken back by the Jets. Velarde to front. Perfetti a shot. Blocked by Hudson. Down low now. Lowry jabbing for it. It's taken back then by Uri Slavkovsky. Played down low then for Dobson. Dobson off the boards. Puck will slide all the way back into the Winnipeg zone. Hellebuyck out of his own net to play it. Through center now. Sandberg off the boards then for Nemesnikov, who will backhand it here into the Montreal zone. Here's Carrier, trying to feed that one up top. Shot from the point goes wide of Montembeault. Now down low is Struble behind the net, trying to bank that one off the boards. Nemesnikov battling forward as well. Montreal will bank to center. Played in the air then. Gallagher over then for Philip Denault. Stolen back by the Jets here in their own zone as they try and regroup. Josh Morrissey takes it around behind the Winnipeg net. Only one shot so far, and it came from the Jets. Here, 2 minutes into this opening period. Here's Gustav Nyquist through center, and he goes offsides. Oh boy, I'm already thirsty. What's up, John Jason? How we doing? Good to see you. Face off now outside of the Montreal zone. This is commentary stream number 162. For those who are wondering, so we're moving into the 160s in live commentary history. Here's Joe Veleno now backhanding it into the Winnipeg zone. Picking it up then down low is Shen. Shen trying to wrap that one around to Coep. Kept in the zone though by the Canadiens. Here's Veleno. Trying to take that one around behind the net. Will revert back to center. And he gets knocked off the puck by Logan Stanley, who's actually been one of the major breakout positives for Winnipeg this season, which is saying something, but he's actually had a solid year. Here's Veleno now back down low then for Dobson, who will hold the puck in the Montreal zone. Dobson behind the net. Cross ice pass then up for Caulfield, who Tries to battle for it with Scheifele. Those are 2 Olympic snubs right there. Here's Kyle Connor dumping it down low into the zone. Suzuki now with Matheson. Scheifele will try and play the puck. It's taken back then by the Habs through center. Dumping it in then is Boldu. Behind the net, then Hellebuck plays it. Cleared to center. Now Doc back to Struble, who will dump it into the Winnipeg zone. On the right side now, battling for that puck was Elias Salomonson, who is a rookie here for the Jets. I don't believe we've commentated him in a game yet this season. Here he comes with the puck now down the right side. Will break it into the zone. Dumps it around now behind the net. Right side then trying to clear that one was Caden Gooley. Stolen back then by Matheson. Habs will regroup in their own zone. Still that one shot in that opening period. It is scoreless. Matheson just standing below the goal line here in the Montreal zone, kind of looking for the right play. And now he'll send Carrier the other way, who will dump it into the zone. Racing for it then is Demidov. Hellebuck gets to it first. Played back then by Adam Lowry, who will clear it out to center. Now Perfetti comes into the zone. Down the right side, fires it on Monty. And he makes the save. It's tipped wide. Up top then, Schenna shot into the chest of Sam Montembeault. Taking a look here at the Winnipeg Jets and the Connor, Scheifele, Velarde line. Those 3 players have scored a combined amount of 72 goals. The rest of the Jets team only 86. And it really shows how top-heavy this Winnipeg Jets really have been. Half of their goals nearly have come from one singular line. And a whistle is blown here, and a penalty is coming up against Montreal. It's off the draw as Niederreiter took a stick to the face. And we will see a Winnipeg power play coming up. Monty's making saves. He is, at least as of right now. Thank you all for tuning in. Like the stream down below. It helps out with the engagement. It'll be Josh Anderson to the box for high sticking. And the Jets will go to the power play. Face-off now won by Montreal. Matheson will try and clear. It's Connor, Perfetti, Scheifele, Velarde, and Morrissey out there on that first unit. Here's Josh Morrissey now. Will drop it back for Scheifele. Scheifele through center. Perfetti breaks it into the zone, drops it back up top. Connor. Connor right side. Pass up to the point. Morrissey down low. Out of the zone. Then pass in front. Jabbing at that puck. Montreal takes it back. They try and clear. Kept it by Morrissey. Morrissey to Scheifele. Scheifele down low then. Velarde. Back to Scheifele. Up top. Morrissey a shot. Save by Montembeault. Can't the rebound. Scheifele a shot. Save again. How did he make that save? What a stop by Sam Montembeault. Almost halfway through the power play already. Morrissey back to Scheifele. Down low now. Velarde fires it at the goal line, and Montembeault makes the save. Perfetti up top then to Morrissey. Morrissey to Connor. Connor to Perfetti. Back up top to Connor at the point. Jets cycling the puck. Connor down low to Scheifele. Back to Connor. Connor back to Scheifele. Down low. Pass over. They score! Kyle Connor. Power play goal. And the Jets have the early lead. It's a power play goal at that. The 7th of 7 shots by the Jets so far. And Kyle Connor now scoring his 7th goal in a live commentary stream, becoming the 10th player in live commentary history to reach 20 points in their career in live commentary streams. Makes it 1-0 Jets. Kyle Connor with the opening goal. The assists on that are Gabriel Velarde and Mark Scheifele. And it is a 1-0 lead here for Winnipeg relatively early. Here come the Habs now rushing their way through center. Dobson will shoot that one out of play, or I think he might have went off sides. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was off sides. So Kyle Connor gets the Winnipeg Jets on the board. It's 1-0 here, just about 7 minutes into the opening period. Thank you all for tuning in as always. Please subscribe down below if you're new, if you enjoy the commentary. We do it every single week for all 32 teams. We will be live for the Milano Cortina Olympics as well. That is something I have to say. Let's take a look at the status report here for these two sides. You take a look at Montreal's side first. They placed Semi Blais on waivers, so he is now being sent down to Laval. Jaden Struble is entering the lineup tonight for Arbor Jacki. And Montembeault will start after Dobish had started the previous 4 prior games. And Montembeault so far has had to face a lot of shots, that's for sure. Jets will dress the same lineup as they did against Dallas on Monday. Both these teams getting a day break in between. Take a look at the scratch players here for both sides. Only scratch player for Montreal is Arbor Jacki. Winnipeg scratching Daniil Zilikin, Isaac Phillips, and Tanner Pearson. Out of their lineup, Hayden Fleury, Colin Miller, and Neil Pionk. Montreal still missing Patrick Laine, Alex Newhook, and Alex Texier is now no longer in the lineup as well. So a Kyle Connor power play goal. That's his 7th goal in his last 7 games against the Canadiens. He loves to score against Montreal. That is something he definitely loves to do. And he picks up another one here tonight. 1-0 Jets. Do I like the Habs or the Jets? Neither. I am a gray area, I guess. I'm a Flyers fan primarily, so. But I do these live commentary streams for every team, so. Try and keep the same energy for both sides as well. So when Montreal scores, you will hear me like cheering my animation. Suzuki a shot blocked by Nemesnikov. Caulfield battling for it. Velarde back up then for Niederreiter. Niederreiter battling for it on the right side. Velarde stolen back then by the Habs. Cleared to center by the Jets. 2-on-1 the other way. Niederreiter to the zone pass over. Nemesnikov a shot saved by Montembeault. What a stop. And a 2-on-1 break the other way, and Montembeault has to stand tall. And that he does. What a stop. Good opportunity there by Vladislav Nemesnikov. No goals in his last 12 games for Nemesnikov. We'll see if he can break that tonight. Face-off here now won by the Jets. Up top, shot from the point was tipped in front and wide. Suzuki trying to clear, kept in by Coep. Stolen back by Anderson, attempting to get that one to center. They will do so successfully. Now Brendan Gallagher. Right side, plays it down low. Anderson in front will get it on Hellebuck. Now Gallagher, pass to center, is blocked with all the bodies in front. Another chance is denied by Hellebuck, and that's the first shot of the game for Montreal. And it comes from Philip Denault. So there's the first shot for Montreal. It came at the basically 8-minute mark, 8 minutes and 16 seconds. So, yeah, I mean, again, having a power play in there and then the Jets just kind of, you know, we're giving it to them early. That kind of does happen. Face-off coming here now in the Winnipeg zone. It'll be Adam Lowry versus Juraj Slavkovsky. They kick Oliver Kapanen out of the face-off circle. Matheson to the point. Shot is blocked. Jets trying to race for it the other way. And take it back then by Caden Gooley behind his own net. Right side now Matheson. Drops it back for Gooley. Caden Gooley now through center. Tipped into the Winnipeg zone. Out of his net to play it then is Hellebuck, who will backhand it around now behind the net. Pick back up then down low by Iafallo. Is he wearing an A? Looks like he is. Jets will clear it out to center. Can't really tell from my angle. Now Matheson will hold it here and move it through his own zone. Getting reports that Gabriel Velarde has gone to the dressing room for Winnipeg. Right side now, Evans trying to clear it down low. Then battling forward is Ivan Demidov alongside Morrissey. Pass front. Evans, a shot saved by Hellebuck. Rebound taken away over to Demidov, who puts it through his legs. Couldn't really get a shot on. Now Carrier fires it. Tipped in front. Slavkovsky a chance. And it does not get on. Good sticks in front there by the Jets. Here's Iafallo. Cross-ice pass to Scheifele. Scheifele down low to center to Connor. Connor can't get it in time. Hudson back to Connor, who steals it back. Fed up to the point. Montreal takes advantage. Off the boards now, Boldu will dump it into the Winnipeg zone. Right side then, Connor. Back to Scheifele. Scheifele to Connor. Back to Nemesnikov. Nemesnikov pass to center. And Stanley can't complete the shot. Nemesnikov now circles on the right side. Stanley a shot. And I think Monty got a piece of it. Bank back around then behind the net. Connor picks it up for the Jets. Kyle Connor off the board. Stolen back then by Montreal quickly. 3-on-2. Evans will decide to just dump that one into the zone. Shots are a whopping 9-2 in favor of the Jets here as we approach the halfway mark of this period. And the Kyle Connor power play goal is all we've got him. Down low now in the corner. Dobson back to Jaden Struble behind the net. Now Kirby Dach battling for it on the right side. Cleared all the way back down into the Winnipeg zone. Suzuki jabbing at that puck as well. Fed up top then. Caden Gooley will battle for it at the point now. Caulfield a shot on Hellebuck. He'll make the save. As we are 10-13 left to go in the opening period. Shots 9-3 in favor of Winnipeg. Really well played game by the Jets so far. They're getting all their sticks in front. They're blocking the shots early here. Haven't really let much get on Hellebuck, and if they have, it's been from the outside mostly. Face-off coming here now in the Winnipeg zone. Morgan Barron now taking the draw against Nick Suzuki. Face-off won by Montreal. Gooley, pass back. Matheson dekes in, fires it. Save, rebounds there. Stolen back then by Scheifele. Mark Scheifele tried to send Barron on a breakaway. Clear down low into the zone. Now Connor battling for it. Gooley off the boards. Tried to clear. Kept in by the Jets. Scheifele, cross ice to Connor. Connor moves in, fires it off the post. Chance was in front. It goes back behind the net. Kyle Connor nearly had his second of the night. Caulfield now will bank it back into the Winnipeg zone. Through center, Scheifele. Into the zone now. Scheifele up top to Morrissey. A clapper on net is denied. Now down low, Philip Denault battling for it. Picked back up then by Stanley. Logan Stanley gets it around. Nyquist to Scheifele. Tried to get a puck to center there. He lost his edge and couldn't get it past the goal line. We are now over the halfway mark in this first period. Down low now, hit off the puck was Perfetti. Played around then behind the net to Gallagher by Anderson. Gallagher can't get it. Now Velarde, who is back from the room. Down low now, Lane Hudson. Hudson in the corner. Gets knocked off then by Lowry. Jabbing at that puck. Fed up top, Denault. Denault back then for Lowry. Lowry cross ice to Morrissey. 3-on-3 now for the Jets. Morrissey gains the zone. Perfetti down low. Intercepted by Montreal. And here's a one-on-one the other way. Slavkovsky into the zone. Shoots it. Blocked by Shen. And that's a guy who I think could be traded soon. And Braden Shen, here's a pass in front for Kapanen. And he fans on the puck. It's cleared back out to center. Dobson now into the zone. Will clear it down low now. Trying to bank that one off the boards was Sandberg. Picking up then by Jonathan Toews. Toews gets nearly hit off the puck there by Jaden Struble. Now Demidov takes it back in the Canadiens zone. Behind the net then Montreal holding the puck. Struble through center, back to Demidov. Demidov cleared around now behind the net to Kapanen. Kapanen battling for it with Sandberg. Now Slavkovsky feeds it up top. Shot from the point. Struble goes on Hellebuck. He'll make the save. Kapanen up top. Struble to Carrier. Carrier, pass back then for Slavkovsky. Slavkovsky fires it, and it goes wide of Hellebuck. Now down low, Sandberg trying to bank that one up the other way. It's a 3-on-2. Nemesnikov joins the rush. Down the bench side, pass in front. Saved by Montembault on Nino Niederreiter. What a stop. Here's Nemesnikov backhanding it just wide. Another chance. Goes up above the net. Now Morrissey with the puck. Trying to keep that one in the zone. Will slide it back down low behind the net then for Nemesnikov. Nemesnikov up top then for Solomonson. Back to Morrissey. Morrissey, a shot. Goes wide of Montembault. Now down low behind the net is Barron. Morgan Barron behind the net will fire it on. Denied there. Morrissey up top. Holds the puck. These Habs have been out there for quite a bit. Solomonson dumps it down low then to Niederreiter. Niederreiter up at the point as the Jets get some of their top guys out there. Stolen back then by Slavkovsky, who will clear all the way down the other way. Now Solomonson gets hit off the puck by Boldu. Now Morrissey will steal that one back then for Winnipeg. 6:20 left to go here in the first period. Here's Nyquist. Digging through center. Will clear that one into the Montreal zone. Matheson behind the Canadiens net off the boards. Then Kirby Dach breaks it through center. Cleared back down low. Grabbing it then is Sandberg back to Nyquist. Now Scheifele drops it back. Winnipeg will regroup. 6 minutes to go here in the opening period. There hasn't been a lot of whistles. Montreal trying to bring that one through center. Stolen back then by Scheifele. Scheifele back to Connor. Kyle Connor down low. Connor right side up top. Shen to Sandberg. On tipped. Just wide of Montembault. Played back then by Kyle Connor. Kyle Connor trying to feed it up top. Scheifele looks. Back down low to Connor. Connor. Cross ice pass Sandberg. Up top. A shot into the chest of Montembault yet again. Winnipeg getting the heavy pressure on Montreal here in this opening period. It is 1-0 Jets. Thank you all for tuning in as always. I greatly appreciate it. If you are new to the channel, subscribe down below if you're new. I would greatly appreciate it. In light of this second commercial break of the game, it is time for our Watch with Nordic trivia question here for tonight. So for you guys who don't know, we do trivia questions every single game. I ask a question during the first period. I don't reveal it till the third period. Here is today's question, and this should be relatively easy. So, let me pull up my little description here very, very quickly for this question. In the 2021 playoffs, Montreal swept Winnipeg, winning the fourth game in overtime. Who scored the overtime goal in Game 4 of the 2021 playoffs against these two teams? Probably should have worded that better in the question. The question is, who scored the overtime goal in Game 4 of the 2021 playoffs between the Jets and the Canadiens? This player is still in the NHL. I will not give you anything else more than that. Please try and guess it off the top of your heads. I will not tell you whether you are right or wrong, and the answer will be revealed during the first commercial break of the third period. Keeping it simple today. That's the easy question for today, relatively, I would think. Or at least it's not that hard to maybe think back in your thinking cap, especially if you are a Montreal fan. You probably know this off the top of your head, but give me your answer down below. Back here from commercial break. Jets lead Montreal 1-0, but honestly, it should be more than 1-0. The Jets have been the better team here by far. Shots were 12-5 through about 15 minutes of play in this first period. Winnipeg has has simply dominated. Face-off now in the Montreal zone. Habs will try and clear. They will not be able to clear. Down low now in the corner. Getting it is Gooley, battling for it down low then with Connor. Caden Gooley trying to clear. Habs get it back. Pass to center then Evans. Gains the red line, dumps it down low. Now Veleno picking it up on the right side. Hit there then by Shen. Now Connor up to Scheifele. Scheifele into the zone, circles back around, has it up top. Scheifele tipped. And that one goes up and out of play. And now we'll go to a mini commercial break. Go figure, because there wasn't a lot of commercial breaks in that first 15 minutes anyways. Face-off coming up here now in the Montreal zone yet again. Habs are 15-6-7 on the road this season. Off of that overtime loss against Minnesota on Monday, they're looking to bounce back from that. Jets are looking to bounce back from their own overtime loss against the Dallas Stars. Down low now in the Winnipeg zone. It's Niederreiter back to Josh Morrissey now behind the Winnipeg net. Morrissey up then for Jonathan Toews, who tries to clear. Banked off the boards then for Nemestikov. Vladislav Nemestikov. Right side, up top, a shot into the chest of Montembolt yet again is Jonathan Toews. The pressure keeps on coming for the Jets. So does the physicality. 4:18 left to go. 1-0 Winnipeg. Commentary schedule for the rest of the week. We will be live later on tonight for the Battle of Alberta between the Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames, of course. We will also be live on Friday the 6th, streaming our first college hockey stream of the season. The first of probably, I think, 4 I'll do, or 5 this year, including the Frozen Four coverage. We are doing Michigan versus Michigan State. It is going to be a pretty damn good matchup, and I'm really looking forward to it. And then that'll be our last commentaries until Thursday, unless if I can scrounge something else together before then. But it looks like we will not be live from that day for another week from Friday, which really sucks, but it makes sense because, again, really no NHL games. Have to pay for AHL games and stuff like that. So, but planning on being live for 4 Olympic prelims, a couple of the semifinals, and both medal games I hope to be live for. Hopefully they aren't super early in the morning to where I'm having to get up at 5 a.m. But hey, that's my choice. Face-off coming up here now in the Montreal zone yet again. It has been all Winnipeg here tonight. And they have the 1-0 lead. Showing off Uri Slavkovsky, who really boosted his draft value at the Olympics back in 2022. Has a career high in goals this season. Has been good here for Montreal this year and produced well. There's Morrissey to the front. A backhand there is denied Velarde a chance. He fans on it. Now Dobson battling for it down low with Adam Lowry. Velarde will come in and steal that puck away, trying to feed it up top. Stolen back then by the Habs. 3-on-2. Demidov into the zone. Down low Kapanen. Puck's over, and it goes just wide of Hellebuck. That was a real chance there for Slavkovsky to tie the game, but he could not put the puck across the goal line. Now Morrissey on the right side battling for it then with Kapanen. Kapanen will feed that one behind the net, then back for Hudson. Up top, Slavkovsky. Back to Dobson. Dobson shoots it on. Save. Rebounds over. They score! It's Oliver Kapanen who gets the rebound in front, and that is not a great play there by, I think that was Lowry in front, and the Habs have tied the game. And let me see this replay here. It's a shot from the point. Kapanen gets that puck. Hellebuck's already down. And let me see this replay here. Yeah, it was up top. Dobson takes the shot. It's tipped. Hellebuck makes the initial save. Perfetti just couldn't poke check it away in time, and Oliver Kapanen has the easy shot. Top corner on Connor Hellebuck. Assisted by Noah Dobson and Uri Slavkovsky. That's the second goal in his last 3 games for Oliver Kapanen. And the Habs have tied it. There's the rookie there. One of the 2 rookies for Montreal getting his team on the board. Off the boards now, Connor will backhand it into the Winnipeg zone. 3 minutes to go in this opening frame. Scheifele played back down low then. Over then for Kirby Dach, battling forward on the right side with Iafallo. Dach back to Suzuki, over to Caulfield. Caulfield will bank that one into the Winnipeg zone. Now Solomonson will hold Suzuki away. Jets trying to play that one through center. Now Suzuki down low then Caulfield. Caulfield on the right side, fed up top Gooley. Fires it on, and it goes wide. Now Sandberg trying to clear that one off the boards. Played back over then for Connor. Kyle Connor, pass to Scheifele. Scheifele to Connor. Connor moves in, takes it around. Wraparound chance, puck slides just up top. And they couldn't put it past the goal line. Here's Logan Stanley, back to Mark Scheifele on the right side. Battling for it then with Gooley. Played back down low. In the corner now, Connor. Tried to throw it past the center, back up top then. And Schenna shot. And a whistle is blown dead here, and a penalty is coming up against the Jets. And it's on Gustav Nyquist. Montreal will go to the power play. And Nyquist is not a big fan of that. And Nyquist on that call. It'll be a slashing call, it looks like, against Nyquist. And Montreal will get their first power play of the game. Face-off here now, won by the Habs. Demidov up top then for Hudson. Hudson back to Demidov. Demidov up top, Lane Hudson. Pass over. Caulfield, a shot saved by Hellebuck. Now Suzuki trying to play that one to the point. Caulfield takes it back. Cole Caulfield. Behind the net then back to Suzuki. Suzuki right side. Will hold it up top. Hudson. Looks. Suzuki. Doesn't shoot it. Pass up top then. Hudson. Back down low. Demidov a drive. And blocked by Sandberg. Now Koepk will play that one back to center. Habs power play 30% in their last 5 games. A minute and a half to go here in the first period. Through center now, Hudson. Brings it in. Drop back to Caulfield. Caulfield off the board. Slavkovsky to Demidov. Demidov, right side, trying to move the puck into the zone. Feeds it to the point. Hudson back over then Suzuki. A shot saved by Hellebuck. Rebound play down low to the corner. Caulfield trying to battle for that one. Suzuki takes it back up top. Pass over. Demidov tried to do a shot pass, and nobody could get it. Here's Caulfield down low. Fires that Demidov. The rebound. Fans on it. Stolen back then by the Jets. Here's Lowry on a short-handed break. Lowry dekes in. What a move. Can't get the backhand on as Slavkovsky knocks him off the puck. We are now in the final minute of play here in the first period. 30 seconds to go on the Montreal power play. Suzuki will drop it back then for Dach. Kirby Dach now through the zone. And an offside's blown dead here. And we have a penalty coming up? I'm sorry? For what? Zach Bolduc being called for interference. I didn't see the play. But okay. Zach Bolduc for interference. And we'll see 4-on-4 for the rest of the period, followed by a Jets power play in the second. Face-off coming here now in the Montreal zone. It's won by the Habs. Matheson now back behind the net. 4-on-4 here now till the last 10 seconds. Dobson now through the zone, back to Matheson. Matheson comes in, moves to center, can't get the shot on. Good defensive move there by Morrissey. Matheson on the right side. Mike Matheson down low now behind the net, tried to feed it up top, played up to the point then Veleno. 10 seconds left. Jets on the power play. Habs have it shorthanded. Evans battling for it down low, trying to feed it past the center. 3 seconds, 2 and 1. And that will do it for the opening period. End of 20 here in Winnipeg. Kyle Connor and Oliver Kapanen put both their teams on the board. We are tied at 1 apiece here at the end of the first period of play. That being said, folks, it is intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. Stick around for our intermission talk. We will talk about the game so far. We will go over the large amount of news around the NHL here over the last couple of hours, including a Panarin trade, a 20-game suspension, a felony charge against one of the top prospects. We will get into all that here in just a moment. I'm going to head to the bathroom real quick and go grab some water. I forgot to do that. I will put the trivia question here yet again on screen. The trivia question is, who scored the overtime goal in Game 4 of the 2021 playoffs between the Jets and the Habs? I'll be right back, and we'll talk about the game so far and everything else that it will entail.
Chuck, that's what the Capital One Cafe is here for. Open 7 days a week at most locations. Can I eat at 8 p.m.? My dog walk only takes cash. Anything for an answer. Oh, my wash machine's on trips also. Just the thing. Ooh, you make a pretty good bank guy. Want to try the catchphrase? There's no fees or minimums on Capital One checking account. Now the other one. What's in your wallet? You're natural. On demand. Comfort. Experience. Welcome to the Genesis GB70 HEV. Get 3.99% APR.
All right, I have returned from my wonderful trip to the bathroom and to grab some water here, as we are through 20 minutes of play in Canada Life Center. We are tied at 1 apiece. So let's go over that opening period. Starting off with the opening goal. There will be a clip here on the channel in just a moment. It is Kyle Connor from Gabe Vilardi and Mark Scheifele. It's just a simple passing play. Great movement by the Jets on that power play. See Scheifele to Vilardi. Back over to Connor, who just shoots it on the one-timer. It works nearly every time with a guy who has as good of a shot as Kyle Connor. Not many players have a better shot than him. And he tucks that one past Sam Montembault for the opening goal. 6 minutes and 7 seconds in. Ain't that funny? That's pretty ironic. And then Oliver Kapanen with his game-tying goal. This one was a little bit more interesting in the sense that you see him on this play, and there was, I felt like a lot of time for the Jets to get there. It's a poor defensive breakdown. You see, who's number 2 again? Why am I blanking on who number 2 is? You see that the Winnipeg defender in Dylan DeMello is just caught. Let me take a look at this again. He was caught out of position, way too high up. And Caulfield was down low, but kind of is on DeMello for not getting back in time. And sadly, Connor Hellbuck's like already down in his net. So it pretty much gave a guy like Oliver Kapanen, who scored his 18th goal of his NHL career, and giving the Habs a 1-1 score. The Jets will head into the second period with a minute 24 of power play time.
Back up top to Connor at the point. Top to Connor at the point. Jets cycling the puck. Connor down low to Scheifele. Back to Connor. Connor back. Jets cycling the puck.
Trying to make the Connor clip.
Connor back to Scheifele. Down low. Pass over. They score! Connor down low. Pass over. They score! Kyle Connor. Power play goal. And the Jets have the early lead.
Shots in that period were 13 to 11. So it really felt like in that first half, it really felt like in that first period, the play was all Winnipeg, and then momentum kind of flipped. Montreal had that power play, and then Kapanen obviously scored. It seemingly has changed completely here, back to a Montreal type of game. So shots just 13 to 11 in favor of the Jets.
Jets cycling the puck.
And again, as I mentioned, Kyle Connor, his 7th goal in a live commentary stream. Before we get into all the news around the NHL, and don't worry, we'll talk about all of the things going on with Gavin McKenna that needs to be discussed. Let's talk about the other games going around in the NHL right now that are worth talking about. You start off taking a look at Boston and Florida. They are wearing their Winter Classic and Stadium Series jerseys. Wouldn't have been a bad idea to do that. We haven't done those teams yet in a commentary. That'd be pretty cool. But Bruins lead the Panthers 2-1 after nearly 20 minutes of play. We had to get a Jet stream in there. We haven't done the Jets in nearly 2 months. So 2-1 Bruins coming up on the end of 20 minutes of play. Blackhawks and Blue Jackets, the second matchup between these two teams in the last week. Blue Jackets up 2-0. Zach Werenski and Ivan Provorov, the two blue liners, getting the goals there in that game. And then there are 7 other games coming up here in the night tonight. First off is Wild Preds. That'll be in Nashville. That'll be a good game to watch. Sharks and Avalanche will be a good one as well. Again, looks like the Sharks are going on that 3-game West road trip. Red Wings and Mammoth is at 9. That'll be a good game as well. All times in Eastern time, by the way. Sorry for those who are in Mountain time or Central time. I apologize. Stars Blues at 9:30 also. And then later tonight you have 3 10 p.m. slate games. You have the Battle of Alberta. We'll be live for that. You have Canucks and Golden Knights. That'll be a good game. That's a Watch with Nordic matchup. And then Kraken and Kings is the later 10 p.m. slate as well here on the night of NHL hockey. So a lot of good stuff going on here in the league tonight. And speaking of the LA Kings, this is a great transition over into our talk about the recent news around the NHL. Artemi Panarin has been traded to the Los Angeles Kings at 50% salary retained from the New York Rangers in exchange for Liam Greentree, a conditional 2026 third and a conditional 2026 fourth. The conditions on the third are the better of the LA or Dallas third will upgrade to a second if LA wins a round. So it will upgrade to a second round pick. And then that conditional 4th-round pick will be given to the Rangers if LA wins 2 rounds in the playoffs this year. I don't know if I bet on that. But anyway, from LA's side, I mean, again, there's a video up here on the channel. You guys can go watch that. I won't go too deep into this one because there's a lot of other news that I need to talk about that we didn't make videos on yet. But the Kings definitely win this. They're going all in here on Kopitar. I respect the hell out of it. I think that's the right move to go. They got him at 50% retained too, which makes you wonder. Like, again, like LA, obviously they needed the retain to make the money work as well. Could that mean they're maybe trying to go out for somebody else? I don't know. I never really see LA make big moves, but Ken Holland going all in. I like to see it. And he didn't even really give up that much. Liam Greentree will be a good hockey player, but last year compared to this year is like night and day. Last year he was phenomenal. This year it seems like he's falling a little bit more back down to earth. He had 119 points with Windsor last season. This season, he now only is on pace to have 70. That's a pretty significant drop-off, nearly 50 points, actually, back from where you were. And again, maybe in this, last quarter of the CHL season, maybe he can bounce back and, get his numbers back up. But, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't really bet on it, to be completely blunt with you guys. The fact that the Rangers only got that much back is pretty disgraceful, even though Panarin supposedly only wanted to go to LA. Like, I don't care. Like, I mean, like, how do you not get a first-round pick in this at least? I figured, and I think I said this in a group chat, I think I said it with the Northern Block podcast crew, I said if they are going to if they're going to trade Panarin, then you're likely getting a first-round pick and some prospect with it. And I thought that would be it. I'm a little bit shocked that it's only just the prospect really in this return. The other trade that happened was Nick Bjugstad being traded to the New Jersey Devils in exchange for Thomas Borderlow and a 2026 4th-round pick. I don't hate it, but again, I look at New Jersey and it's just like, how, like, this is the best move you can make. I was really a little head-scratching by that. I definitely think that New Jersey needs to make a change. Their GM needs to be fired. Tom Fitzgerald is a clown in my eyes. I think it's ridiculous how they've fallen the way they are, and this is the best move they can make. I know they need centers. Jack Hughes is out, and them making this, it kind of tells me maybe he'll be out longer. We'll see, but again, we'll find out there with that. Caleb Jones has been suspended 20 games without pay due to violating the NHL, NHLPA performance-enhancing substances program. So, for those who don't remember, Aaron Ekblad, who is a defenseman for Florida, he was suspended for 20 games, I believe, due to violating the PED program. And obviously, this is not right. I mean, this is a NHL thing. This is not NHL player safety. He will have to go to player assistance program. Again, I think, like, it makes sense. Like, you can't be using performance-enhancing substances or performance-enhancing drugs. It doesn't necessarily mean steroids. It may be steroids. I don't know. But, again, like, PEDs are enhancing your performance. They can make you play better using the drugs. They can make you have more energy or whatever. First off, it's not good for you for the most part. It's also illegal. So 20 games there for Caleb Jones, who hasn't even played since, like, I think October. Like, it's like, what? He hasn't played since, like, I think early November was what it was when we made the Penguin stream and I talked about it. But, yeah, I don't know. All right, the big news around the NHL realm right now, and I, again, like, we got to talk about this. I can't really avoid it. It has to be discussed. Gavin McKenna. Gavin McKenna is facing a felony charge for aggravated assault in a bar incident on January 31st. Reports are that he broke somebody's jaw. Now, I've heard some things around the internet about how it could be that somebody was saying something to Gavin about his mother. Apparently called his mother an inappropriate word because obviously all the family was down. It wasn't like a bar fight. Like, McKenna wasn't drinking. If he's there with family, I think maybe he was there like with them, maybe not drinking himself. That might actually make it look worse for him, depending on how you look at it. We saw some text messages saying that they broke his jaw in 3 different places. He has a concussion. He's missing some teeth. So for me, like, there's a lot of people who have been saying, and a lot of people have asked me about this. There's a lot of people who are saying that he will not play in the NHL again. And there's a lot of people saying that this boosts his draft stock. Well, I don't think it boosts his draft stock. I don't really think NHL teams really are condoning the fact that, this guy punched somebody in the face and completely broke their jaw. I don't think the NHL is really that happy about it. They're aware of it. I'm not sure what will happen with it, but you do ask yourself the question, like, could he drop in the draft? And that is a legitimate thing to ask. Whether or not you agree with the fact, I think it's possible. You see people and players, they get dropped due to character issues and how, maybe they're a good player, but you hear things about how their attitude's poor. Like, Liam Greentree's a pretty solid example. Greentree's good. He's a good hockey player, but there was reports around the draft that he had poor character, poor attitude, and he dropped to 22nd overall. The Kings took him. He's not even on their team anymore. Kind of fitting he's going to the Rangers, but anyway, that's not the point of what I'm trying to say here. Gavin McKenna might face jail time. We can talk about whether or not he will. You can have your opinion on that. The fact is, he's going to get charged. This is going to take a while. If found guilty, he could face up to 20 years, is what I've heard. It's a very, very interesting situation. It's still developing. I'm trying to be careful on what I say about it because, again, I don't know. I don't really know the exact story. I've heard things on social media about the thing with his mom and stuff, but I don't 100% know. So, again, it's a matter of what will the courts say? What is the official verdict? We'll find out more here, but this could take a while. And in terms of Kapanen's draft stock, it does affect it. Whether or not you want to admit that, it does affect it. We'll just have to find out how badly it does. But yeah, Gavin McKenna, one of the top prospects for this draft, finds himself in a pretty bad situation right now. And that's pretty much all your news. We're almost ready here for the start of the second period in just a moment. I'm going to take a second to catch my breath, and we will get ready to go here with the second in just a moment. Obviously, subscribe down below if you're new. And like this stream as well. Alrighty, let's get ready for the start of period number 2 between the Montreal Canadiens and the Winnipeg Jets here tonight. First period recap, goals were scored by Kyle Connor and Oliver Kapanen in that opening frame. Taking a look at our stats through 20 here in this game tonight. Shots 13-11 Winnipeg. Face-off percentage 66% in favor of Montreal. Power plays, Montreal 0 for 1. Winnipeg 1 for 1. Hits are 8-6 Jets. Block shots are 5-2 Jets. What's up, James? Let's go, Jets. Love to hear that. Winnipeg will start this middle frame with 1:24 of power play time. And now we see if they will be able to get another puck across the goal line. Kyle Connor looking pretty red hot tonight. Who do I like? Wings versus Mammoth. Wings should win. Yeah, hope you guys have a good game too. Appreciate you coming in. I wouldn't know. I'll be doing a Red Wings stream soon. Don't worry. After the Olympic break, hopefully. All right, second period is underway. Face-off won by the Canadiens. Trying to do every team before the Olympic break. I'm missing a couple still, so they'll be picked up. And Montreal steals it and dumps it back in the Winnipeg zone. Again, I talk about this all the time. I really try and stream all 32 instead of just streaming the big market teams. I could perform so much better if I stream the Leafs or the Oilers or the Canadiens or the Bruins every single game. I choose not to because, again, I like streaming all 32. It brings the fun in it. Some people don't understand that. They think I should just stream all the Maple Leaf games and all the Bruins games and all the Canadiens games. They get their fair share. Down low now, Connor will clear that one around behind the net. Velarde now fighting for with Josh Anderson on the right side. Down low now, puck slides up top then for Morrissey. Morrissey to Connor. Connor, pass to center then. Velarde down low. Jets finally set up with 10 seconds to go. Perfetti up top to Morrissey. Morrissey to Scheifele. Scheifele to Morrissey, a shot glove. Rebounds there in front. Jabbing at that puck. Perfetti slides it around down low. Picked back up by Scheifele up top to Morrissey. Power play will conclude. And now trying to dump that one the other way for a 2-on-1 was Montreal. They couldn't get there in time. Where's the power play thing? Here it is. Down low now is DeMello. Feed the pass then up to Taze. It goes off his stick and stolen back then by the Habs. Now Logan Stanley on the right side. Stolen back by Nemesnikov. DeMello for Niederreiter. 2-on-2. Niederreiter to center. A shot saved by Montembeault. And he will cover. Winnipeg kind of picking right where they left off. Obviously starting off the period with a power play as well does influence that, of course. Face-off coming here now again in the Montreal zone. Face-off here now in the Montreal zone. Won by the Jets. Down low now, Taze battling for it. Stolen back then by the Habs. Suzuki on the right side. Cole Caulfield brings it through center. Someone dumped it into the Montreal zone. Turnover in front. Caulfield nearly got an easy shot on Hellebuck. Hellebuck makes the save and covers. And that was nearly fatal there for the Jets. Shots 15-12 in favor of Winnipeg. And again, both teams coming out here swinging essentially. They're getting their chances on. And Hellebuck gets that one just barely with his pad. Suzuki was right there in front, but couldn't get a stick on it. Caulfield, 32 goals this season. Damn well might score 50. He needs 18 more. He already has 13 in the calendar year. He has 19 of his 28, or 19 of his 32 on the road this year. I was going to say that math doesn't add up. At the point now, Doc trying to clear that one down low now. Suzuki banked around behind the net, then back for Morrissey. Josh Morrissey will flick a puck to center. Puck will slide all the way back into the Montreal zone for another icing. Thank you all for tuning in as always. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Face-off here now, won by the Jets. Cleared to center. Velarde battling for it then with Hudson. Backhanded all the way back down into the Montreal zone. Here's Dobson behind the net. Stolen back then by the Jets. Played up top. Sandberg a shot into the glove of Montembeault. And the shots keep on coming here for Winnipeg. Monty's played well. 15 saves on 16 shots. Hopefully I'm not jinxing it. I probably am, because that's what I do. For those who have been longtime watchers, you'll know that I screw up everything. I screw up everything. I get everything wrong. It's in my nature. Face-off now in the Montreal zone is won back then by the Canadiens. Off the boards, then Slavkovsky will clear all the way back down to the Winnipeg zone for an icing against the Habs. Talking about Winnipeg here on the panel. 22, 25, and 8. They're 7th in the Central. Shot from the point. Solomonson is blocked. Taken back then by Matheson off the boards. Then Slavkovsky 2-on-2. They've really just struggled. I think the injury of Hellebuck really played a factor. Montreal hasn't broke a stick yet. I don't think so. Not really taking that into account, though. Yeah, Winnipeg at this time last year, they had 38 wins, 14 losses, and 3 overtimes through 55 games played. And now at this point in the year, they only have just 22 wins. It's a nearly 20-point decrease from last year. Here's Matheson now clearing it down low. Montreal doing better than where they were at this point last season. Down low now, behind the net, Denault battling for it. Try to throw it past the center, then Koep will feed it all the way back into the Canadian zone. Racing for it was Barron, but it's an icing against the Jets. Jets have had points in 7 of their last 10. It's been a struggle, though, recently. Again, as I mentioned, we haven't streamed them since late November. It's been our first time streaming them since, I think, November 26th. It's been a long time. And I knew I was like, I'm going to have to get a Winnipeg stream in here soon, hopefully before the Olympic break. Thankfully, I was able to. At center now, battling for it, Hudson. Played back down low then. Now Dobson regrouping with it on the right side. Back over to Kirby Dach. Dach now for Caulfield. Caulfield through center. Back to Suzuki. Montreal trying to move it. Pass down low. Then the Dach can't get it through. Now Lane Hudson moves it up top. Fires it on. It's blocked. And goes back then to the corner. Now Stanley will clear to center. Habs are offsides. Jets will be forced to regroup in their own end. Now Shen back to Stanley. Stanley through center. Here's Kyle Connor with speed. 3-on-2. Connor fires it. Blocked by Hudson. He's been very active tonight. Iafallo battling for it with Dobson. Puck will slide up to the point. DeMello moves in. Pass over. And there was not enough oomph on that puck. Bank back off the boards then by a Jets defender. Pass around. Iafallo, a shot save. Rebounds there. Jamming at that puck was Connor. And Montembault makes the save both times. Again, the great play by Montembault here tonight. Goalie who has certainly struggled this season overall. Like, it's been a rough go of things for Montembault. Definitely do want a lot more from him. Face off here now in the Montreal zone. One back then by the Jets. Right side now, Kyle Connor. Down low, battling for it with Gouli. Up top then, Montreal tried to clear to center. Played back then, Boldu off the boards for Veleno. Veleno now into the zone. Behind the net then, tripped is Gallagher. No call. Here's some boos from the crowd. Here come the Jets the other way. It's Connor with speed. Connor loops back around now up top. Drops it back to Mello. DeMello intercepted there by the Habs. It'll send a 3-on-2 the other way. Now a 2-on-1 develops. Gouli over to Evans. Comes in. Fires it. Saved by Hellebuck, who covers up any rebound. Starting to look like a real goalie show here in Winnipeg. 14:39 left to go in the second period. Tied score at 1. Tomorrow, I'm hoping to make a video on either Barry Trotz or the Flyers. We have a lot of videos coming out during the Olympic break. There will be at least 3 series that I'm going to try and post. Since I have my nights kind of free now, I'm going to try and start producing more videos. Shot from the point, and tipped in front by Anderson, goes past Hellebuck. And the Habs have taken the 2-1 lead. Kind of caught me off guard there as I was talking. Josh Anderson with a tip from a point shot, his 12th of the year. And it was right off the face-off. It's Gallagher up top. Shot from, I believe that's Carrier. And Josh Anderson gets the tip. And that was, Struble at the point. So it'll be Anderson from Denault and Struble, unless if Solomonson gets that puck on the right side. But the Habs have now taken the 2-1 lead. Right side now, Taves trying to feed that puck up to center. Kept in, though, by Montreal. Struble back to Taves. Down low to Mesnikov. Moves to the front. Shot save. Rebound. Jamming at that puck on Montin ball. They're putting it through. Now back Taves. Feeds it up to the point. Can't get it there clearly. And it comes back to center. I am really curious how that puck did not go in the net. They were jabbing at that puck. And the Mesnikov stays snake-bitten. Vladislav Nemesnikov down low now behind the net. Battling for it with Barron. Played back then. Hudson. Off the boards to Veleno. At least they try and clear. Now Taves fighting forward here with Nemesnikov. Anderson will flick that one all the way back into the Winnipeg zone. It'll slide wide of Hellebuck for an icing. And just enough there for an icing. Here's some more boos from the crowd. Again, it's a mix of blue and red in the crowd. It actually looks kind of cool. Like low-key, when you look at the crowd, it's kind of the Jets colors, actually, because the Jets do have some red as their third color, I believe, or their second, depending on how you want to look at it. When I do the score bugs, I like to have a I like to do like 2 different colors sometimes. Face off here now in the Montreal zone. It's Kapanen versus Scheifele. Face off one then by the Habs. Hudson down low now, back over then for Kapanen. Gallagher off the boards to Anderson. Anderson loops around to Hudson, comes in, pass over, they score! Lane Hudson! Off the bar and in, it's 3-1 Montreal. Lane Hudson came in all alone, got that one top corner on Connor Hellebuck. I'm not really that mad. Don't take this the wrong way, but I don't really care. I'm not Canadian. But, I mean, I think either one would have been a good choice. Lane Hudson puts it past Connor Hellebuck, and what a nice play by Gallagher and Anderson. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know. They must have something against Hudson. Or not Hudson. Well, probably him too. They must have something against what's his face? Scheifele. Lane Hudson, his 10th goal of the season. And I know for a freaking fact that is his first goal in a live commentary stream without even looking. Here's Slavkovsky back over to Kapanen. Fed back up top. Now Goulet a shot. Save there by Hellebuck. Cleared all the way back to center now. Matheson skates it into the zone. Backhands it around then behind the Winnipeg net. Now Slavkovsky on the right side. Perfetti to center. They must have something against Scheifele. Or at least the committee does. I don't really... I shouldn't say I don't care, but it's like it doesn't really matter to me. because I'm not Canadian. I'm American. Hudson now will play it back to center. 2-1 the other way there for the Habs. It's Doc into the zone. Doc over. Suzuki can't complete. I think the Jets defender got a piece on it. Now Gabe Velarde here will rip it through center. Looks like the Anderson goal will be unassisted for now, but he has a multi-point game. Assist on that Hudson goal are Anderson from Gallagher. Here come the Jets now. They're trying to bounce back here. It's been a lot of Montreal these last few minutes. Down low, Hudson trying to bank it off the boards. Dobson. Stolen back by Caulfield. Caulfield will backhand that one into the Winnipeg zone. Solomonson. Dumps it in. Grabbing it then on the right side is Barron, being tied up there by Gooley. Barron. Cleared back up top. DeMello. DeMello down low then for Barron. Morgan Barron up top. DeMello will fire that one around behind the net. Stolen back then by Matheson. Kept in though by the Jets. Here's Barron looking. Pass over in front is blocked by Montembeault. Now Niederreiter. Back up top to Stanley. A shot blocked by a teammate. Kept in by Winnipeg. Nyquist. Looping it around now at the goal line. He goes off sides. And not the goal line, the blue line. Sorry. And Nyquist getting frustrated. Josh Anderson and Lane Hudson here in this second period. The Montreal Canadiens have a 3-1 lead. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. We are trying to get to 4,500. Our goal is 5K by the end of, or by June of 2026. But we've been making good progress. We hit 4,000 in the last couple of days of December, and now we are almost halfway there with about, 3 months to go at the end of this month? It's been great what we've been able to do, and I couldn't do it without you guys. I really appreciate the support. Yeah, we've gained 330 subscribers this month. It's been nuts. It's been awesome. I mean, I think that either are all right choices. Whether it's Scheifele or Bennett. They must have some kind of gripe against Mark Scheifele, though. I really don't understand why he doesn't qualify for this team. I find that a little bit interesting. But what do I know? I'm not making the team. I mean, I can have an opinion on it, but is it really fair for me to say? I don't know. Leave that up to you guys, honestly. Phenomenal play here by the Habs over the last 5 minutes or so. That was 2 goals in less than 2 minutes. Anderson with a goal and an assist. Face off here now outside of the Montreal zone. They've added a ton of shots for the Jets. Oh my God. Down low now with it. I must have not updated it. My apologies. Carrier battling for it down low with Niederreiter trying to get that one free. It's behind his skate. Finally, they get it away. Carrier's on the ground. Down low now, Taze. Throws it around behind the net. Up top for Shen. Shen battling for it down low with Hudson. Off the boards to Anderson. Anderson to center. Gallagher kind of falls on his feet there. Stolen back then by the Jets. Taze. Try to get that one to Niederreiter. Stealing it back down low. Fed up top then. Here's Anderson now through center. Anderson to Gallagher. Gallagher dumps it down low. Now Hellebuck off the boards to Shen. Back to Stanley. Stanley to Shen. I think Luke Shen could really be a big trade piece for the Jets. I think I said that already. Probably. Here's Montembeault out of his net. Back over then for Suzuki. Suzuki through center. Try to give that one over then for Doc. And a whistle is blown here for, I think, offsides. And we cut over the midway mark here of this second period. 3-1 Montreal. So we'll be live later tonight for the Battle of Alberta. It'll be Oilers and Flames. On our later slate, we'll be live for 2 more tomorrow and then 1 more on Friday. And then again, that will do it for our commentaries until Thursday. Next Thursday, it'll be the early morning Olympic commentaries. So that'll be pretty interesting. I did look into Monday, see if there's anything on Monday for the NCAA or anything like that. I really don't know. I don't think the NCAA really plays during the week. They generally play on the weekends because of college. You know, these kids still have to learn. But obviously with travel too, that plays a factor also. But I did look into doing like an AHL night. What the thing is though is like, do I have the money to pay for the AHL subscription? And is there even games? There are even games on Monday. Let's go take a look. Nah, there ain't even games on Monday. Not even games on Sunday. Yikes. So it's just like, what's the point? Jesus, current goal droughts for Jets forwards. Gustav Nyquist had nearly 36 games since his last goal. Morgan Barron, 17. Nemesnikov, 12. Lowry, 10. Tays, 9. Iafallo, 8. And Pearson, 7. Those are the goal-scoring droughts for certain Jets players. They have guys who haven't scored goals in months. Like 36 games ago. You're talking like late November. Jesus. Face-off one now by the Canadiens. They will dump it back into the Winnipeg zone. Morrissey back down low then for Iafallo. It really shows like, and again, I understand it's hard to bring players to Winnipeg, but their depth has completely just like disappeared. But they'll play those guys over their young players. I don't get it. Matheson down low then for Doc. Back over then for Suzuki. Suzuki back to Caulfield. Caulfield to Matheson. Matheson fires it on. Tipped wide. And Doc nearly put it through his legs. Scheifele will clear to center. Suzuki battling for it then with Connor. Taken back then by Scheifele, who tried to bring it through the zone. Dumped back in then by the Habs. Here's Connor. Back up then for Scheifele. Scheifele into the zone. Kind of loses the puck a little bit. Plays it down low then to Iafallo, who battles for it with Struble. Connor at the goal line up top. Shot from Solomonson goes wide. Now Scheifele. Try to clear that one behind the net. Now Matheson picks it back up, battling for it with Iafallo. We just crossed over the 1,000 view mark for this stream. Shot by Solomonson, saved by Monty. Thank you all for your continued support. That is our fourth out of 3rd out of 4 so far this year in terms of commentary streams that have reached over 1,000 views. Face-off coming here now in the Montreal zone. It'll be Veleno versus Lowry. Off the draw now, it's Struble trying to play that puck. Back over then for Boldu, who will clear to center. Shen Intercepted there by Struble, who dumps it back into the Winnipeg zone. Hellebuck out of his own net. Taken back then by Bolduc. Zach Bolduc behind the Winnipeg net. Up top, Struble. Pass over then to Carrier, who fires it on. And gloved by Hellebuck. That is Montreal's first shot on a hot minute. I don't think they've had a shot since they scored. Showing off Montembeault. Really struggled this season. Just one win in his last 4 games. Has an .866 save percentage over his last 4. Tonight he has stopped 20 of 21, putting himself at a very respectable .952. Hellebuck, another rough night, 14 on 17, has an .824. Here's Demidov back over then for Kapanen, who fires it on. It goes wide and stays in play. Now through the zone, Lowry. Back up then, Morrissey. Back to Lowry, battling for it down low. Bank back up top. Morrissey fires it on, tipped wide of Montembeault. Through center now, Habs have it. Demidov into the zone, drops it back, Slavkovsky, trying to dig it around Perfetti. Throws a pass in front, nobody's there. Hudson moves in, fires it. Deflected off of Velarde and out of play. Shots 22-18. Oh my gosh. Stretching. Thank you all for tuning in as always. Good movement here by the Habs. Face off here now in the Winnipeg zone, won by the Habs. Hudson can't keep it in the zone, will be forced to come out to center. Hudson back over then for Dobson. Hudson through the zone, broken up then by the Jets. Nyquist drops it back then, Shen. Cross ice pass to Nyquist. Now intercepted by Hudson, played off the boards then Bolduc, trying to take that one into the zone. Battling for it in the corner now. Stanley clears it around then for Barron. Little under 7 minutes to go here in the second period. Habs lead the Jets 3-1. Puck is cleared all the way back into the Montreal zone. Dobson back to Hudson. Hudson now breaks it through center. Pass back Evans. Up top, Veleno a shot. And that one goes back into the corner. Now Hudson battling forward with Solomonson. Picked back up then by Barron, who will flick it to center. Racing forward is Coep. He won't even try. Montreal takes it back now in their own zone. Back over then for Denault. Denault through center. Stolen back then by Josh Anderson, who will clear it down low. Now a backhand by Gallagher goes wide. Try to feed a pass to center. Intercepted then by the Jets down low. Niederreiter fighting for it then with Denault. In the corner, Niederreiter will backhand that one up top. Struble. Right side then Carrier. Pass back to the point. Struble another shot. Goes wide once again. At the point now, Carrier trying to move that puck. Denault. Up top, Carrier fires it wide of Hellebuck. Now Struble joining the play. Takes it around behind the net. Clears it back down low. Puck slides in front. Now Sandberg fighting forward with Solomonson. Cleared all the way back to center. Nemesnikov. Pass back then for Taze. Jonathan Taze into the zone. Blown dead for an offsides. That was a late blow. The frustration continues here for the Jets. They were killing it. But the Habs have come back and made it 3-1. 3 unanswered goals for Montreal. Calder Trophy winner Lane Hudson right there.
Also wanted a hotel with an ocean view. Then he found a vacation rental with an ocean-front yard.
Thank you all for tuning in. Like the stream as well. Down below. Might change into pajamas later. These are kind of uncomfortable. All right, back from commercial break. David Savard was in net? Watch with Nordic legend Dave Savard? What the hell? All right. It's been a well-played game here for both sides. Habs have gotten the better opportunities, and they've gotten the goals. 3-1. Caulfield now through center back to Doc. 3-on-2 the other way. Doc comes in, pass back over. And Gooley couldn't finish that as he was joining the 2-on-1 rush. Caulfield trying to get his 14th of the calendar year. Matheson fires it on Hellebuck, and he'll make the save. Shots now 21-20. Puck slides out to center now. Grabbing it is Mike Matheson. Attempted to break that one through center. Now getting it back Suzuki. Suzuki waits, looks, pass over into the zone. Now down low to Caulfield was Gooley. And Jets could not convert. Here they come the other way. It's Lowry through the zone. Pass, ice, pass. A shot just wide for Perfetti. Now Sandberg. Back to Perfetti on the right side. Cole Perfetti shoots it. Tipped in front by Velarde. Puck goes behind the net. Now Lowry up top then. Sandberg. Tried to shoot that one. It's blocked. He comes back in. Fires it again. And it goes off a player in front. Now down low. Velarde in front. Shot saved by Montembault yet again. With 4 minutes to go here in this second period. Breaking it through center now is Doc. Doc will dump it into the Winnipeg zone. Hellebuck. Now takes it down the other way. Some good opportunities here for the Jets. They haven't gotten a ton of chances here in this second period. Shots during this middle frame are actually 11-9 Winnipeg. Wow. Didn't realize that. Still out shooting Montreal 24-20. Puck around now behind the net. Scheifele. Cleared all the way back through center. Now Morrissey. Back in the Winnipeg zone. Dumped. Back into the Montreal end. Now down low is Connor Hellebuck. Back to Morrissey. Morrissey battling for it now on the right side. Up top, Boldu. Over then to Veleno. Veleno will backhand that one off the boards. Now Evans. Down low. Veleno battling for it then with Stanley. Here's Kyle Connor. Connor takes it now through center. Will clear that one down low. Hudson. Right side then Veleno. Who will clear all the way to center. Taken back then by Sandberg, who will backhand that one down low. Now Hudson behind the Montreal net. Lane Hudson already a goal here tonight will hold it back down low, wait for his teammates to get a line change. And plan a course of attack. Hudson, pass to Dobson. Cross ice is tipped back into the Winnipeg zone. 2:20 left to go in the second. Demidov trying to feed that one up top now. Tays battling for it down low. Around behind the net then to Solomonson. Solomonson through center. Picked back up then by Carrier. Carrier. Struble then back to Demidov. Demidov dekes it through the zone. Here come the Jets the other way. Tays will poke check that one down low. Niederreiter now battling forward with Struble. Tays up top. Morrissey at the point. Shoots it on. It goes wide. Now in front. A chance for DeMello. And denied by Montembeault. What a stop. He got over there in time. And that is his 24th save of the night. Impressive performance tonight by Montembeault. He looked awesome. Face-off coming here now, again in the Montreal zone. Won by the Habs. Gooley will clear all the way back to center. Now Morrissey. Banked all the way back to center. Breaking it ahead then Velarde. Velarde trying to deke in. Kind of gets knocked off the puck there now. Trying to clear it around behind the net. Taken back by Matheson down low. Here's Cole Perfetti. Perfetti up top to Morrissey. Morrissey. Down the right side. Trying to get a shot on there. Trying to get around Gallagher. Approaching the final minute of play here in the second period. Morrissey behind the net. Tried to throw a pass in front to Lowry. Lowry's intercepted. What a keep-in by Velarde. It's poke checked away, so it doesn't really matter. Cleared all the way back to center. Here's Josh Anderson. Anderson will just dump it into the zone. Now Lowry behind the Winnipeg net. 45 seconds to go here in the middle frame. Canadiens lead the Jets 3-1. Cross ice pass. Backhanded into the zone by Kyle Connor. Picking it up then Dobson right side to Hudson. Now Connor. Trying to backhand that one down low. Battling forward with Hudson. He'll take it around behind the net. Hudson. Cleared back out to center. Less than 20 seconds to go. Shen will get it out of the Winnipeg end. Montreal's been almost everywhere the Jets are trying to go. Like, they're not even letting him come into the zone barely. Final 10 seconds left. Here's a 3-on-2 the other way. Caulfield with speed. 3 seconds left. Fires it on. Blocked. And that'll do it. 40 minutes of play in the books. Mark Scheifele runs into the net. Hopefully he's okay. And a great road period here by Montreal. Shots in that period were 12-9 Winnipeg, but Montreal with the 2 shots that mattered. It was Josh Anderson and Lane Hudson who make it 3-1 at the end of 40 minutes of play. That being said, folks, it is intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. Stick around for our intermission show. We'll talk about the game so far. We will talk about the other scores around the NHL as well and everything going on with that. Before I go and take a break here for a moment, here's our Watch with Nordic trivia question. Yet again, it will be announced in the first commercial break of the third period. It is, who scored the overtime goal in Game 4 of the 2021 playoffs between the Canadiens and the Jets? And they just showed Sportsnet's panel. They have a bunch of makeup girls out there. I wish I had a makeup girl. Anyway, I will be right back. I'm going to go use the bathroom real quick. And we'll get into our little second intermission report.
Also wanted a hotel with an ocean view. Then he found a vacation rental with an
All right, 40 minutes of play here in the books from Canada Life Center, as the Canadiens have a 3-1 lead on the Winnipeg Jets here through 2 periods of play. Shots 25-20 in favor of the Jets. Sam Montembeault, a 24 save performance so far tonight, has played really awesome. And hopefully that success is going to continue here through the latter half of this game, but it's been overall a really well-played hockey game here by the Canadiens. Going through the 2 goals that put them up by 2, you start off with Josh Anderson. It was off the draw. Great plays by Gallagher and Struble. The Struble shot from the point was tipped in front, and they did credit Struble and Gallagher with the assist. They left it unassisted for a little bit, so that's why I wasn't 100% sure. But Josh Anderson with the goal to make it 2-1. And then Lane Hudson, a great effort again by Anderson, who has a multi-point game tonight. Anderson brings Stanley to the outside. He'll send Hudson alone the other way. Hudson shoots it top corner on Connor Hellebuck, and he makes it a 3-1 hockey game. It's been a really well-played game. It's been a lot of fun to watch. Montreal taking advantage of their chances. It's not like a blowout here either. It's a really even game. I have no complaints. I like this. I no longer have storage on my phone. That's great. Let's go delete some stuff. There's a lot of Royals clips that I have, just like random Royals clips that I have not deleted, so we'll go through some of these quickly. But yeah, it's been a great game so far. I really like the way that Montreal, even though Winnipeg's out shooting them and they're getting chances on Montembeault, they noticed after, I would say, those first few minutes of that opening period, they immediately came right back and just started not giving Winnipeg that much room in the offensive zone. The Jets, most of their shots have pretty much come from the outside, and I think they've done a good job at managing that. Towards the end of the period, though, Montreal did let the Jets get some chances, but I did think still Sam Montembeault's had a phenomenal game. That's been a big factor in why the Habs are leading by 2 here in this one.
His overall skill, what a beautiful goal from Hudson. So important to note, in that D zone, that should have been Phil Deneau in that spot, who's absolutely money in the D zone on his strong side, but they have an icing, so this ends up being young Oliver Captain, who did...
Trying to load this up quickly here. Making the Lane Hudson clip a goal. I don't even know how the Scheifele one did.
Face-off one then by that. For Kapanen. Anderson moves around to Hudson. Off the boards to Anderson. Anderson moves around to Hudson. Comes in. Pass over. They score!
I love this line. The veteran line there, the Anderson and Gallagher, getting things done for the Montreal Canadiens here.
It's over. They score!
For Montreal, you can see why they're 3rd in the league in goals scored.
They score! Lane Hudson!
23rd in the league in goals
Off the far end, it's 3-1 Montreal.
All right.
Lane Hudson came in all alone, got that one top corner on Connor Hellebuck.
Yeah, Lane Hudson, his first goal in a live commentary stream. He doesn't have a lot of points in live commentaries, actually. You think with all the Montreal games we've done, he'd be racking up the assists? It really hasn't been the case. Certainly not been the case.
That's out of their range for goals per game for Winnipeg with the pace that they're on. And it's got to be frustrating if you're Winnipeg. And that save right there near the end of the second was huge. Just recognition to drop down to the side, coming off the glass, a high shot, and make that save. Can you imagine if they could get him really hitting his stride? It looks like they've been managing since he's been called up with some gaps.
All right. Let's take a look at the other games around the NHL currently. Here tonight, again, there is a full Wednesday night slate. Usually it's only like a handful of games, but all right, loading it up here. There's 10 games in the NHL. Going through the games that are currently going on. Bruins-Panthers 3-2 Florida. Matthew Tkachuk and Olvis Belinsky has put the Panthers back ahead 3-2. With just 1:20 left to go. Yeah, that Hudson goal was pure filth. It was very nice. At the end of the second period. Blackhawks and Blue Jackets, 3-0 Blackhawks. Danton Heinen scores, and Charlie Coyle, who there will be a video on him soon. He's played very well. He could be a trade asset. Got the goal there. And then Predators and Wild, an absolutely just insane first period, 6 goals in total. Matt Boldy with a natural hat trick. And then Eric Haula, Steven Stamkos, and Philip Forsberg would then tie up the game at 3. That is 3-3 at the end of 20 minutes of play in that one. How'd the Scheifele clip do? Not bad. All right. Yeah, I mean, again, I'll pull up the NHL Edge. Yeah, I mean, it's a good play by Anderson too. He drives Logan Stanley to the bench side, and it leaves Hudson. I mean, Hudson's incredibly fast. We know that, obviously. It leaves Hudson wide open there, and who's that other defenseman out there? Why am I blanking? Who's 44? Morrissey. Morrissey's not on Hudson. Doesn't even see Hudson. Hudson just comes speeding right in there. Anderson notices him coming, just sends that backhand past him in front. And I mean, again, that on its own would be pretty impressive, but he roofs it top corner on Hellebuck. And I mean, just the pure talent from that kid is insane. The offensive skill is nuts. I mean, I get why people do say he has the real shades of Makar. I see it. You see it. He'll probably win at least a Norris in his career. Hopefully he's not, overshadowed by other defensemen, because that's been the problem with a couple of other guys. One guy is Morrissey. He's been overshadowed by other defensemen, even though he's had great seasons. John Carlson was one also, played in the Carlson-Burns era, and then the play in Makar, Hughes, and all that. I think if, hypothetically, if Lane Hudson were to, get, a 90-point season, 85, 90-point season, God forbid even more than that, he should at least win a Norris in his career for sure. But he did a good job. That was a great goal. I mean, again, he doesn't really score that often. He has 12 goals in his NHL career. Yeah, oh my God, I'm forgetting about Schaefer. Yeah, it'll be like Hudson and Schaefer battling it out I mean, Makar is still relatively young, so he'll be in the conversation as well. So is Quinn Hughes. But
Does this stay up for the whole month of February? Only a Canadian would ask that. Of course it does. That's awesome. John Cooper, Elliot Friedman. 5-4-3. This is an incredible.
and Werenski. Yeah, Werenski as well. He's really had a big breakout year. He scored his 20th of the year this year. I mean, like, again, the Blue Jackets, they keep on winning. And you ask the question, like, could he win? Like, if, hypothetically, let's say, because they're right there with the Islanders. People don't realize that. They're right in there with the Islanders. They're only like a couple points back. Hypothetically, if they get in, somehow, you got to give the Norris to Werenski, no? Like, there's like, I mean, again, I understand that, you know, the likes of, I'm blanking. The likes of Makar and all that have been great, but if Columbus somehow gets in and passes the Islanders or anything like that, like, I think people would vote him for the Norris for sure. I think people would vote him for the Hart.
Loyalty factor. There's a lot of players coming back who've won before. Did that matter? The fact that they won with you last year? Listen, I could can the answer and say no, it doesn't matter or anything. Let's be honest, of course it matters. Familiarity is a real thing. Would we have loved to have kept the Four Nations team and just added two guys? For sure. Like, when you win with people, you know them, you trust them, you want to keep going through a wall for them. And
yeah, he's already ahead of Makar. The only thing is, though, is like, when's the last time a defenseman won the Norris without making the playoffs? That's the question that warrants itself with that. I don't know. Still got about, says like 5 minutes or so to the third period. Again, as I said, we'll be live for Oilers and Flames later on tonight.
It's gold or else. Would you rather be in a situation where, oh my God, I can't wait to, if we can just get the bronze? No way, man. I want to be the team that's gold or bust. Oh, great coach, great personality. Let's go, Coop. Yeah, he's got Colby believing. We're heading back out to Winnipeg. 3-1 Habs on top, 240. Third period is coming away now.
If the Norris gets voted today, Werenski gets it. Yeah, I would agree with that. It depends how the rest of the year plays out. As good as Makar is, I would kind of hate to see him win it again. Not because I don't like Makar, but I kind of want to see somebody new, if I'm being completely honest. But doesn't matter what I think. I don't get a vote. I don't even know if it'd be a good idea to give me a vote, to be honest with you. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing down below if you're new. We are about 80 subscribers away from 4,500. Would love to hit that here before the end of the month.
do, mascots. We do what's right when things go wrong.
Nothing blew up.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
All right, third period is ready to begin. Yeah, I agree with that. Boogly. But at the same time, they also don't tend to look at players that much when they don't make the playoffs. So, like, for example, there was a case to be made, and I'm going to refer this to Hudson. There was a case to be made about Dustin Wolf when he was a Calder finalist that he should have won the Calder, but Calgary didn't make the playoffs. So there's that. That was obviously something that was made up in that. It doesn't play a factor in everything, but you do notice it. Like, if your team makes the playoffs, you're likely to win the award if you're in it. All right. Anyway, let's get ready for the start of the third period here between the Montreal Canadiens and the Winnipeg Jets. Second period recap. Goals were scored by Josh Anderson and Lane Hudson to make it a 3-1 Montreal lead. Stats through 40, 26-20 are the shots in favor of the Jets. Face-off percentage, 58% in favor of Montreal. Power plays, Jets 1 for 2, Habs 0 for 1. Hits are 16-13 Montreal. Block shots 11-7 Winnipeg. Face-off now at center. Nyquist will bank it down low for Connor, who nearly had 2 in the first period. Connor now below the goal line, moves to center, fires it on, blocked. Now down low, Connor. Fed back over then for Doc. Right side now, Morrissey tried to throw a pass to center. It's back down low now into the corner. He probably did. It feels like recently though that's the expectation. Like, you have to make the playoffs to even come close. I'm not saying players have never won it before without making it, but it's possible. But again, it's just like, it feels like that's what you have to do now to win the award, even if you're the most valuable. I would argue last year, Werenski was more valuable than Makar. That's just me, though. Here's Dobson now up top. Fires it on, tipped back into the corner because Makar won the Hart the Norris last year, right? I thought Werenski was more valuable than him. Demidov now behind the net off the boards for Lane Hudson. Shots 28-21 in favor of Winnipeg. Through center now, Perfetti. Through the zone, Lowry. Right side then, Perfetti down low in the corner. Now, Struble. Banked off the boards then for Denault. In the corner here now in the Montreal zone. Habs trying to clear it out. Kept in by the Jets. Expect a push here for Winnipeg. They are going to definitely try and tie this game up. Delayed penalty here against Montreal. And here's their first opportunity. It's Alex Carrier who will head to the box. And Winnipeg will go to the man advantage. So there you go. That'll be interesting. Jets are now going to get a power play here. They're 1 for 2. Their only goal came on the power play. Face off here now in the Montreal zone. One back down low then by the Canadiens. Cleared all the way back into the Winnipeg zone. Here's Josh Morrissey. Morrissey now will try and bring it through center. Dropping it back then is Scheifele. Scheifele up for Connor. Kyle Connor to Perfetti. Perfetti up top. Scheifele to Morrissey. Morrissey back then, down low. Connor pass in front. Perfetti a chance. Denied by Montembault. And he looks to the sky. Sam Montembault, have yourself a night. What a performance he's had. That was his 28th save, I believe, if I read it off correctly. Unreal. Face off here now in the Montreal zone, won by the Jets. Now Morrissey. Morrissey up top to Scheifele. 1:20 to go on the power play. Scheifele fires it. Saved by Monty. The rebound was there. Nobody was backdoor. How is there nobody just at least backdoor? Perfetti over then for Connor. Connor to Morrissey. Morrissey to Scheifele. Scheifele shoots it. Rebound in front. Velarde jabbing at Monty, and he still makes the save. Unbelievable game by Sam Montembault. That's his 30th save of the night. It's the legacy game. I probably just jinxed it. Face-off coming here now in the Montreal zone yet again. It'll be Veleno versus Tays. Face-off one now by the Habs. Matheson will clear all the way down the other way. Now Hellebuck behind the Winnipeg net. Logan Stanley. Cross-ice pass then for Nemesnikov. Nemesnikov to Tays. Nemesnikov battling for it now on the right side with Tays trying to break it free. Cleared all the way back to center. Here's a rush the other way, short-handed. Anderson with some room. Comes in, shoots it. Saved by Hellebuck. He got that there clean with his chest. Power play winding down. Nyquist out there on the ice. Breaking it through center with 20 seconds left. Nyquist trying to take it in. Gets knocked down to the ground. Hasn't scored in 36 games. Up top, Stanley. Stanley to Nemesnikov. Back to Stanley. A shot. Goes wide. Played back over then to Nemesnikov. To Stanley. Down low now. Slides in on Montembault. And he will just cover. Power play is over. Jets had 3 shots on that power play. And have yourself a night. Sam Montembault, 32 shots, 31 saves, 969 save percentage. Face-off coming here now again in the Canadian zone. One back then by the Jets. Morrissey behind the net, throws it in front. It's blocked. Now the Habs will take it and flick it out to center. Morrissey off the boards then for Barron. Cleared back into the Canadian zone. Montembault trying to dump that one around behind the net. Now Iafallo trying to throw it in front. Habs steal it back. They will clear all the way back to center. Now Dylan DeMello. Banked off the boards then. Iafallo, 2-on-3. Will flick that one past Hudson into the Canadian zone. Iafallo fighting for it, trying to slide that one down low. Kept in by Morrissey. Lowry has it in his feet. Poke checked away then by the Habs to center. Morrissey to Iafallo. Back to Morrissey. Morrissey now through center. Here's Velarde. Pass up top. Shot on net. Denied there by Monty yet again. Sandberg to Scheifele. Pass in front. And they still can't convert. Couldn't even get the puck. Here's a 2-0-1 the other way. Demidov to Slavkovsky. And the pass to Kapanen's blocked. Jets get it back. Scheifele. Cross ice then. Stolen back then by Carrier. That should be an offsides for Montreal. Doesn't really matter. They just took it out of the zone. Connor now back down low then for Sandberg. least I think it should. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter. Whatever. Sandberg. Off the board. Scheifele trying to poke check that one down low. Matheson battling for it then with Velarde. In the corner now, Denault. Trying to bank that one up then. Slavkovsky to Demidov. Demidov will flick that one down low. Battling for it then. Sandberg on the right side. Clear to center. Kyle Connor. Cross ice pass to Nemesnikov. Can't get it there. Now played back. Nemesnikov. Pass over then for Stanley. Stanley down the right side. Kind of gets knocked off the puck now. Montreal takes it back behind their own net. They will regroup. It's Jaden Struble. Slots in tonight for Xhekaj. Gallagher. Cross ice to Carrier. Carrier to center. Here's Denault. Denault will just backhand that one down low. Now picked up by Shen. Trying to deke that one around down low. Back to Anderson in front. Fires it on. Blocked again. Now Nemesnikov will regroup here in the Winnipeg zone. Shots are 6-1 in favor of the Jets this period. Here's Evans. Evans into the zone. Shoots it. Goes wide of Hellebuck. Now Anderson back down low for Bolduc. Stolen back then by Nemesnikov once again. Nemesnikov to Niederreiter, who will tip that one down low into the Montreal zone. Dobson behind the net then for Hudson. Hudson will hold the puck here behind the Habs net. Cross ice then. Evans loops it back around. Jets trying to clear this one out of the Montreal zone. Here's Velarde. Velarde will flick that one into the Canadiens' end. Battling for it down low. Lowry then. Back up to the point to Morrissey, who's being tied up there by Evans. Cleared back around down low. Lowry. Right side. Battling for it then with Bolduc. Stolen back by the Habs. It's a 2-on-2 the other way. They'll just gain the red line and dump it down low. That's exactly what they need to do, really. They don't really need to do much of anything else. Here's Morrissey. Josh Morrissey now. Cross ice pass to Barron. Puck slides into the Montreal zone. Carrier battling forward with Caulfield. Stolen back by Koepk. Can't get the shot on. Now down low. Iafallo tried to throw a pass to center. Here's Suzuki. 2-on-2 the other way. Suzuki intercepted with a stick. Cleared back to center. Barron fighting for it now. Iafallo comes into the zone. Fires it wide. Now back out to center. Solomonson will hold the puck here for the Habs. For the Jets. Sandberg. Through the zone then for Nyquist. Nyquist trying to throw a pass to center. Connor just feeds it up top. Not a lot of whistles. Morrissey fires it on. Save is kicked away. Nyquist then back over to Demidov. 3-on-2. Here's Demidov. Pass in front of backhand. And denied by Hellebuck. And the referee's arm is in the air. A penalty is coming up against Winnipeg. What a play there. And a nice little breakaway for Matheson. He's denied with the pad by Hellebuck. And now we'll get a Montreal power play. In light of that, it is time to reveal the Watch with Nordic trivia question here tonight. The trivia question was, who scored the overtime goal in Game 4 of the 2021 playoffs between the Habs and the Jets? And the answer is Tyler Toffoli. Yes, Tyler Toffoli was a Montreal Canadien for a brief little moment. It's a little hard to remember because he's been to a lot of different places. I can name a ton of them off the top of my head. I can name you Calgary, San Jose, New Jersey, Montreal, Los Angeles, Vancouver. Did I get them all? He's been to a lot of different places in his NHL career. And Montreal was just one of the many stops he's taken. And he scored that overtime goal in Game 4 to complete the sweep against the Jets. Thank you all for playing. As always, shots are 33-21. Actually says 31-21. There's no way. So Montreal power play coming up. Sam Montembeault playing a phenomenal game. You look at these two goaltender stats. Montembeault has played 6 commentaries before tonight. Not a great stat line. 2.5 is not terrible. But an .829 save percentage is pretty bad. Generally speaking, this game will really help out that save percentage in live commentaries for sure. Unless if he blows the lead here, which is not impossible. It is Montembeault after all. Face-off coming here now in the Winnipeg zone. Habs looking to kind of put the game away here if they can score on the power play. Shots are 31-21, so Sportsnet was just lying to me earlier. Face-off here now in the Jets end. It's won by Winnipeg. DeMello trying to clear. Played back by the Jets and dumped all the way back into the Montreal zone. Puck will slide in just wide of Montembeault. Shorthanded there, a good chance for Barron. Slavkovsky trying to play that puck back down low then for Lane Hudson. Hudson down the right side, Caulfield. Caulfield for Suzuki. Suzuki through center, back down low then for Caulfield. Caulfield poke checks it ahead. Cleared all the way back into the Montreal zone. Shots 31-22. Hudson to Caulfield. Habs power play on the road, top 5 in the league. Demidov up top, Suzuki. Back to Slavkovsky. Slavkovsky to Caulfield. They can't keep it in the zone. And now halfway through the period, halfway through the power play, Montreal still leads by 2. Dobson off the boards for Gallagher. Gallagher will drop it back then for Kirby Dach as they get their second unit out there on the ice. Montreal really kind of struggling to get into the Jets' end. Now with speed is Kapanen. Kapanen drops it back to Gallagher. Gallagher cross-ice pass to Dach. Kirby Dach down low. Kapanen now battling forward with Shen. Dach try to throw a centering pass. Back over then Kapanen to Dach. Kirby Dach feeds it up top. Dobson keeps it into the line. Kapanen already with a goal tonight. Dobson to Gallagher. Down low, tipped. And it goes wide. Puck will slide all the way back to center. Power play winding down. Boldu down low for Dach. Pass over. They score. Brendan Gallagher gets the backdoor pass. And it's 4-1 Montreal. And in the last few seconds there of that power play, that's what you get for spamming. 4-1 Habs. Brendan Gallagher, a nice little pass over there from Dach. His 6th of the season. Please do not spam. 5-minute timeout. Do not spam. Don't care what it is. Don't be spamming, please. Love watching the young Montreal team. They are fun to watch. I will not disagree. Brendan Gallagher is 6th of the year. It's a power play goal from that second unit. Assists are Dach and Boldu. Into the zone. A shot is gloved. Actually goes wide off of Connor Hellebuck. He reached out his glove. I thought he got it. Down low now, right side. Here comes Dylan Samberg. Samberg with speed now into the zone. Fires it on. That one is gloved by Montembeault, who has been absolutely phenomenal here tonight for the Jets. Brendan Gallagher with the backdoor pass. And the Habs lead by 3 here in the third. So, multi-point game for Brendan Gallagher. He has 3 points. Holy crap. A goal and 2 assists for Gallagher. Wow, have yourself a night. Yeah, Gallagher with a I missed that. Gallagher a multi-assist period in that middle frame. I didn't even realize. 3-point night for him. His second multi-point game in a commentary stream. And obviously, his best so far. What a great evening here by Brendan Gallagher. Really glitchy. This is Gallagher's 12th career multi-point game. Thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. We're almost at 20 likes. Here's Gallagher now up top. Denaulta shot saved by Hellebuyck. And Connor Hellebuyck, who I don't really blame for tonight. A couple backdoor goals. Poor defensive play. There was a breakaway where the defense wasn't covering. Not gonna lie, I think most of these could have been avoided. Just poor play by the Jets. Niederreiter tips it down low into the Montreal zone. And again, this could be good for the Jets. You could use a high draft pick. 2-on-2. Gallagher dumps it back down low. Hellebuyck back in the corner, then DeMello. For Tays. Back over then to Nemestikov. Nemestikov to Morrissey. Niederreiter will poke check that one down low. It really isn't that hot of a take to say, it does feel like, and when you look at the numbers, they back this up. It does feel like the Jets are a one-line team of Connor, Scheifele, and Velarde. I'm not going to lie. It really does feel like that. The numbers back it up. You look at the goals scored by those three guys, 72. The rest of the team has 86 in total. Do you have any idea how crazy that is? The fact that 3 players on your team have nearly half of your goals this year, it's nuts. It's absolutely insane. Face off here now, one by the Habs. Matheson will dump it down low. Canadians are averaging nearly 3.5 goals a game, which is third in the NHL. That's why they've been able to win, even though their goaltending has been, at best, shaky. They've had some downright awful months. They fired their goaltending coach last week. And it really, since then, their goaltending has gotten better. Again, you're seeing Montembault improve now. He's had a great game tonight. Sometimes it's not the goaltenders in particular. Sometimes it may just be the coaches themselves not giving the players the right advice. And that is a factor. People don't like to admit that, but it is true. Here's DeMello now behind the Winnipeg net. Dylan DeMello now will move it through center. Banked off the board, stolen back then by the Habs, 3-on-2. Slavkovsky, pass in front. Denied there by Hellebuyck. 7 minutes to go here in the third. Slavkovsky, down low. I wonder if they will pull Hellebuyck at some point just to try. 3-on-2 now for the Jets. Perfetti. Up top, Lowry. Perfetti down low. Pass in front. Stolen back then by Lane Hudson. Hudson with speed. 3-on-2. Back to Demidov. Demidov to Hudson. Wraparound pass. And it's blocked. Down low now. Hudson gets it back. Pass up to the point. Suzuki waits. Fires it. And that one's blocked. Nick Suzuki back to Carrier. Carrier down low then for Demidov. Demidov down low. Suzuki trying to dump that one around. Caulfield up top. Shot on, blocked. Demidov, right side. Center then the Caulfield. Backhands it on Hellebuck. And he makes the save. Montreal still ahead, 4-1. Here with less than 6 minutes to go in the third. Itchy back. So again, full commentary schedule will be live for the Battle of Alberta later tonight. That will be another good game. That'll be a fun game to watch as well. We will also be live tomorrow. Predators versus Capitals. We'll see how that does. We haven't done the Preds that much this year. Cap streams have generally done well. We'll see. And then we have Golden Knights and Kings. Yes, that'll be the final stream for us before the Olympic break. And then we'll be live on Friday for Michigan versus Michigan State. That'll be a great game. And then after that, we won't be live until that following Thursday. So nearly a week without commentary. But rest be assured, we will be doing the Olympics. There is a 6 a.m. commentary in there. I just can't wait to wake up at 6 a.m. All right, face-off in the Winnipeg zone. Cleared all the way back in on Montreal. Montembeault will make the save. Now Coep and Carrier kind of getting into it here. This has been a relatively tame game, actually, in terms of the overall numbers. It's been a very tame game with like the physicality. There hasn't been a ton of penalties either. Not a lot of that. Puck back in the Montreal zone. All right, face off in the Montreal zone. Empty net for the Jets. Hellebuck goes. It's 4-1. We will see if Winnipeg can make a late comeback here. It would take a lot. We'll see if they can do it. Kyle Connor now through the zone. Back to Perfetti. Perfetti down low. Now Matheson trying to clear that one out. It does come out to center. Racing for it then's Denault. Morrissey gets there first. Morrissey off the boards for Stanley. Logan Stanley now through center, drops it back. Scheifele. And a shot for Gallagher goes just wide of the empty net. He nearly had a capped off a 4-point night. Couldn't get there, though. It's an icing. And with that, we cross over the 2,000 view mark on this commentary stream. Thank you all once again so much for your continued support. Face off here now in the Montreal end once again. Still 6-on-5 for Winnipeg. Face off here now. Won by Montreal. Shot from the point. Goes just wide of the empty net. Anderson trying to get the backhand. Goes off the post. Puck slides in front. Nobody can get there in time. Now through center. Stanley will dump it back down low. Veleno battling for it then with Scheifele. Matheson feeds it up top. Morrissey at the point. Connor down low to Stanley. Stanley passed over in front. Scheifele jabbing at that puck. They still can't get it past Monty. Up top, Morrissey. Back to Stanley, a one-timer off the crossbar and out of play. And it went into the seats. Hopefully that fan is okay. But chances after chances for the Jets, and they still, even when they beat Montembeault, they can't score. Oh my goodness. And what a 1-T there by Stanley. 87-mile-an-hour shot. And we know Logan can do that. Shots 35-26. It looks like it did hit somebody in the face. The fan looks all right. She has a smile on her face. Solomonson back to Nemesnikov. Down low then now. Tays back to the right side. Evans will shoot for the empty net. And it slides just wide yet again. Another icing. Now they're rolling the, I think the third line out there for Winnipeg. Trying to get something going from that end. I mean, 4 minutes to go. Why not? I mean, you're down by 3 goals. That's about the only way you'll get into this game if you pull the goaltender. These guys haven't scored in a while, though. But, I mean, again, sports, they can be a game of momentum. Face-off now is one down low then by the Jets. Nyquist to Nemesnikov. Veleno trying to bank that one off the boards. Kept in by Niederreiter. Down low now battling for it. Carrier with Nyquist. Down low. Tays trying to get it free. Broken back around then behind the net. Fed back up top. Salomonson to Niederreiter. Up top, Sandberg. Sandberg doesn't shoot yet. 3.5 minutes to go. Niederreiter. Down low for Salomonson, who's below the goal line. Now down low, Nemesnikov up top. Sandberg doesn't fire it. Back to Niederreiter. Niederreiter shoots it. Blocked by a Evans stick. Nyquist up top for Salomonson. Back to Nyquist. Nyquist to Niederreiter. A shot. Save. Rebounds there. Trying to clear his Montreal. Slavkovsky will fire. Not enough for an icing. Or no, it is. Okay, it was a little slow puck, but it was enough. Oh, February 21st, the first game of spring training. You bet I'm watching it. Face off in the Montreal end. 3:08 left to go. Empty net still for the Jets. Top guys back out. Connor. Up top, Morrissey. Morrissey to Connor, a shot. Saved by Montembeault. Are you serious? 36 saves for Sam Montembeault tonight. Doesn't get much better than that, does it? Face off now. Anderson battling for it on the right side. Montreal gets it to center. Gallagher looking for the empty net. Backhands it just wide. It will not be an icing. Gallagher throws it in front. Stolen back then by the Jets. Here they come the other way. Perfetti. Bank back out to center. Dump back into the Montreal zone. Now Velarde. Down low in the corner. Back behind the net then. Cleared up top. Stanley. Stanley battling forward with Gallagher. Now Dobson tries to clear. Pucks to the goal line. Anderson can't get a puck on it. Now here come the Jets back in. Connor stolen back by Denault immediately. Puck will slide just wide of the empty net. Another icing. And a group of tired Canadians out here on the ice, unable to get the line change off. As always, guys, thank you all for tuning in. Empty net for the Jets. Habs are up by 4. Subscribe down below if you're new. We'll be live for the Battle of Alberta here in the second game after this one concludes. It'll be Denault now taking the draw against Tays. Face off. Won by the Jets. Nyquist on the right side. Thrown back to Tays. Tays down low then for Nemestikov. Can't get the shot on. Stolen back then. Anderson will backhand that one out of the zone. It'll go wide of the empty net once again. Another icing. Those Habs have been out there for forever. Not good accuracy on that empty net for Montreal. They've had like 5 or 6 attempts now, and they still can't tuck it in. It's been that same group. Another draw now. A minute 3 total for all 5. Gooley now back. Connor. Scheifele. Pass in front. Perfetti a drive. And it goes above the net. Stanley is tripped. And that'll be a penalty. A minute 48 to go. Logan Stanley is tripped. And now it'll be a 6-on-4 for the Jets. Gallagher will go to the box, and not uncommon to see that. Again, sometimes you see tend to be a little bit late. It's just a trip. It is what it is. Hopefully, Montreal can hold it down here on this 6-on-4. It's an opportunity for Winnipeg to possibly put themselves back in it, but even then, a minute 48 to go. Jets calling a timeout. This power play will last for the rest of the game unless a goal is scored. It's been a well-played one here for Montreal. Sam Montembeault having himself a night. All right, 6-on-4 coming up. Habs talking about how they want to perform this kill. They'll get fresh new bodies out there on the ice, thank God. Jets power play tonight, 1 for 3, 8 shots on goal. Definitely been a lot of comebacks in the NHL as of late. It's not impossible, but it'll take a lot. With a minute 48 to go, you need 3 goals. It'd be something. Top line out here with Tays. Face off, won by the Jets. Morrissey at the point. Down low to Scheifele. Scheifele down low. Habs steal it back. It comes out to center. Veleno racing for it. Played back by Morrissey, then to Perfetti. Perfetti then for Morrissey, who drops it back to Scheifele. Scheifele now through center. Now Scheifele will bank that one around then Perfetti. Up top, Morrissey fires it on, goes just wide. The net was open. Morrissey up top to Connor. Connor waits, down low, Scheifele. Now Perfetti, now back to Connor. Poke check there by Evans. Connor keeps it in the zone, stolen back by Montreal. Shot towards the empty net, wide. It will not be an icing. Last minute of play here now in regulation. Connor through the zone, back over then. Velarde, fed back up top. Connor to Morrissey. Morrissey to Scheifele. Down low, pass in front. Connor tips stick. Now Denault will shoot for the empty net. Just wide yet again. It will not be an icing. 30 seconds to go. Power play winding down as well. Velarde looks, fires it, blocked. Montreal trying to clear, kept in by the Jets. Morrissey, a shot tipped in front. And Sheffield nearly had a rebound there. Now shooting for the empty net. And that one doesn't even get through. Now here come the Habs the other way. And tucked in by Philip Denault. 5-1 Montreal with the empty net goal. And yeah, folks, that will do it. And a nice little bow tied on the road here for Montreal. Time winding down here. Montreal comes into Winnipeg in a sea of red jerseys. Sam Montembeault, 36 saves, ties the second best save percentage in a single game that is not a shutout in live commentary history. And the Canadiens get the 5-1 win here in Winnipeg. What a legacy game by Sam Montembeault. Absolutely unbelievable. A 3-point night for Josh Anderson and Brendan Gallagher. Your final score, 5-1 Montreal. All right. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. We are now going to move on to the second commentary stream here. This will start up in just a moment. But again, thank you all for your continued support tonight. Another great stream in the live commentaries. And I will see you guys in about 20 minutes with Battle of Alberta.